Hi everyone, and welcome to the latest monologue. This one is drawn quite appropriately, I think, from lessons learned from the ongoing sporting spectacle that's the Olympics happening in Paris, France. A couple of days ago, some young lady called Winfred Yavi, running for Bahrain, won a gold medal in a really good performance in the women's 3,000 meter steeplechase. Now, there was a lot of sort of murmurs and consternation in Kenya over that victory. Congratulations to her, incidentally. There's a lot of murmurs from Kenya from that victory because she's born in Kenya, trains in Kenya, but runs for Bahrain, and there was a lot of noise around her performance and her victory and all that. And I asked a question. I actually put it up on X, asking senior government officials why they have not sent any messages of pride or congratulations to her. And it was slightly tongue in cheek, but here's why. This is the reasoning. Our current government has made it a policy that our major export is going to be human bodies, Kenyans labor, Kenyans intellect, Kenyans energy, especially the youth. Other countries are crying because their populations are too old and they lack the labor, the intellectual, physical, thematic energy that youth brings. But Kenya is an exception to that. Our government's policy is to export our youth to go and work wherever and do whatever work. And my friend Wandia Njoya spoke a few days ago about it and said that it's sad that in this day and age, Kenya's major export is still human beings. And this is very sad. And this is how this is how, even before it became official government policy, you could see it from behavior. Because a lot of these workers go to work in the Gulf states in the Middle East. There's a lot of abuse because obviously our diplomats based there don't think it's part of their job to care for the welfare of our people there. So these mostly ladies fall victim to a lot of abuse, and there have been many deaths. I'm not sure how many, but many in Saudi Arabia, one or two even in Lebanon. And the former principal secretary in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Macharia Kamau, actually blamed these ladies for the misfortune that befell them and said they should learn how to behave in a manner that doesn't antagonize their employers. It was a deeply shameful thing, and he's still one person who I'm ashamed to say is my compatriot, and I hope he's still ashamed wherever he is for that nonsense. But back to the present. We've had, and we've seen it on our media, no less a person than our head of state has gone around in cyber cafes in this country congratulating Kenyans for doing menial online jobs and earning $50, $60, $100 for their work and this kind of thing. We exported a whole contingent of elite police officers, the best of our police force. We've exported a whole contingent to go and enforce, keep peace or do law enforcement in Haiti, half a world away, while they're in secure parts of this country. About a week ago as well, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, who's also our Minister for Foreign Affairs, had a huge ceremony flagging off or seeing off a contingent of teachers, Kenyan teachers, going to take up teaching jobs in the United States, going to teach American kids while our Kenyan kids here are suffering under a failed education system, under-resourced, understaffed, and underdeveloped. But I'm sure those teachers who are picked, as we always do when we are in service of the West, I'm sure we picked our best. I'm sure they were the best available. So in light of this, we congratulate the menial online workers and we congratulate the teachers. We even gave them those silly little magical Kenya bags. I think maybe they have some beadwork or something in there to go and give or show the kids in the United States. So we congratulate those ones and we congratulate the online workers. But so why aren't we congratulating Winfred Yavi for her stellar performance in the 3,000 meter steeplechase? Or are we only happy to export people to do menial jobs, to do jobs in service of others, jobs that do not provide for them growth in situ wherever they'll be working? And this comes back to Kenya's imperialism. This is how this is what the imperialism that Kenya's imperialism is about. The discomfort, the deafening silence from government, and obvious discomfort with these athletics, these exploits of these athletes, is that the professions they've chosen to go and take up in these places are professions that will make them somebody. They will become famous. They will be received with cheers and ceremony back in those countries. They will make a lot of money. They will be rewarded handsomely for their efforts. Things that we don't do here. And I do not think there is any Kenyan athlete who's gone to represent another country and without ever having attempted to get into the Kenya team and missed out on that opportunity for whatever reason. So this is our discomfort. These are youth who we kept down here and have gone and are growing someplace else. I've just been on a forum with people, a number of different athletics buffs, and someone took exception to my saying that our athletics model here does not provide for growth. I've been watching the Olympics and all these youngsters running for South Africa, Zimbabwe, Namibia, even Zambia. The announcers keep saying they're students at Texas A&M or whatever university in the United States. He's running with his university teammate, Noah Lyles. He's running with so-and-so university in that university. Almost all the Nigerian sprinters, I'm hearing names of American universities. In Kenya, when these sports programs in American universities are very heavily resourced, well-funded, equipped and everything. But in Kenya, when youngsters come up and show promise in sports, we channel them to our police force. Take them to our police force. And this is imperialism. We want to keep them down. They won't rise above a certain level. They'll be part of a hierarchy. They'll be part of the command structure. They cannot just grow like a way a tree grows. It's like we have seedlings. Some are planted in the ground to grow out there, but ours we plant them in a pot. There's a limit to how far that seedling can grow. It gets sunshine only when we take it outside. And this is the definition of imperialism. Imperialism hates the proletariat. Growth of the proletariat in anything other than service to the elite is anathema. And this is what we must get away from. And the effects of it are already showing in our results or lack thereof in these athletics events. Our prowess and athletics pedigree is unquestionable. But if anyone who is not concerned by what they see right now has not been watching Kenyan athletics for a long time. But these are just symptoms of imperialism, and it has impacted all sectors of our nation. So it would be naive of me or anyone else to expect our sport not to be impacted by it. But I hope it helps open our eyes and helps us understand the huge disservice we are doing to this country, especially our youth, especially our future. Those strong, energetic, intelligent youth are the greatest asset Kenya has. The greatest asset, bar none. This country survives because of the hard work and creativity of its people, not because of our government efforts. We survive in spite of our government's efforts, actually. But we keep again and again trying to push down this precious energetic resource. And that is why it will be very hard, even at individual level. Those of us in workplaces, those of us who are maybe got advanced education are in senior positions, we work so hard to maintain hierarchy. Your junior asks you for something and you don't give it to him today because he can't just ask you for that today and get it today. You make him wait a week to show him who's boss. It's the same thing. It comes through our disciplined forces, even our educational system. I was oppressed in the same way by certain mentors and supervisors in my graduate studies, and I know exactly what not to do as a result of that. But that is what Kenya does. That is why when one or a few of these young people escape from the cage we had built for them and go out there and grow and thrive, it is, instead of being something that gives us joy, it is something that actually fills us with cold and dread. And that cold and dread is just a result of our reflection in the mirror. So as you watch the Olympics, understand imperialism, because it's on full show in what's happening amongst the sports people and the reactions of their countries to their progress, or the support of their countries for their progress. But let's hope it will be a lesson that will help us change. Our sports ministry has always been distinguished by how little they do and how poorly they do that little. And in the recent circus of vetting of cabinet secretary, the candidate for that docket was so bad that she could not even be approved for something of such a low standard. That shows how little understanding we have of what we are supposed to do. So it's down to us as the individuals. We must change from the grassroots going upward, because change is not going to come from our elite or our leadership. So let's keep watching the Olympics and hope for some more accolades from Kenya, those running for Kenya and those running for other countries.